What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you for tuning in and watching my videos. I appreciate your appreciation. One of you guys asked me, do you believe in creation or evolution? Because, you talk a lot about the universe, bro. So, what do you believe in? Do you believe in evolution? Do you believe in creation? What's going on with you, bro? Maybe, share your perspective with us. And I got a few likes on it, so I put it as one of my video ideas, Anything you guys say, I put it there as an idea, and it will come sooner or later, believe me. So that's a good question, right? So here we go. This is probably going to be a long rant because it's a complex topic. And it always starts with, what was I raised with? I was raised as Muslim. And when I say that, I'm talking conservatively. My family is conservative and still is conservative. And they live in a conservative country, and I grew up in a conservative country. And for 13 years before I came to Canada, I believed without a single shred of doubt that somebody created this thing, and there's a God, and there's a heaven and hell. And we gotta do good, and we gotta have good deeds, and then we gotta try and have less sins so we can go to heaven. So I believed solely growing up with my heart, that creation this is how the world is. It was created. Then I came to Canada, and I started to be exposed to more ideas, and I hang around atheists. Around when I turned about 17, 4 years into me coming to Canada, I started hanging around atheists, right? Smart people. Atheists are smart people. And I started to like some of the stuff they're saying. And I used to look up to one of them, right? And I really liked his ideas. I liked the way he made his arguments. And he seemed logical. He seemed, practical, reasoning, to me. And so I became an atheist for a little while. So then I believed solely in evolution. Right? Evolution is the way we have concrete evidence for evolution. Concrete evidence, right? Like you can't deny it, and it's true. It's true. You can't deny it. So, I'm gonna trust what my 5 physical senses tell me and what the scientific establishment, which has good credit, which is very valid and is going to help and is helping and going to help humanity in the future to increase the consciousness of the planet and humanity as a whole. Science is going to be the tool, and for me it was a no-brainer. Evolution, it's gotta be the way, man. We evolved, the universe has been around for what, 13.7 billion? Was it 13.7 or 14.7? I can't remember, man. See, I can't remember. But the bottom line is the universe has evolved for billions of years, right? And Earth has been around for what? 3.7 or 4.7. I get those two mixed up. So even the planet itself has been here for billions of years, and it's like the evidence is pretty much in your face, right? To deny it would be foolish. And then psychedelics happened. Right? And then psychedelics happen, and psychedelics have woke me up to the nature of reality, not as institutionalized religions have told me, not as science has told me, instead. Science is simply one way of explaining reality. Religion is one way of explaining reality. And at the fundamental basic level, they're both correct. At the fundamental basic level, they're both pointing to the exact same thing. Evolution and creationism, is that what it's called? I don't know. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. Evolution and creation are not mutually exclusive. What I think is going on, I think we're living in a simulation, and this is it's called simulation hypothesis now, right? mark my words, sooner or later, we're gonna be able to prove this shit. We're gonna be able to prove that we're in a simulation. We're inside a simulation. Mark my words. This is, if you're a scientific person, purely scientific, go look into simulation theory, man. Okay? Guys like Elon Musk, who's shooting fucking rockets up to Mars, up to space, is like basically convinced that we're in a simulation. And there's a lot of scientists out there, very smart scientists, that are also convinced of the same thing. Look into Tom Campbell. So even from a scientific perspective, it seems that we're living inside a simulation. But, you know, when I did psychedelics, I knew it in my heart of heart that I'm living in an illusion, that I'm living inside a simulation. Not because I read it, not because someone told me, but because I know it. Because the psychedelic seems to tell that to everybody that does it eventually. If you do psychedelics long enough, it'll tell you you're inside a simulation, you're inside an illusion, right? This is an illusion. And this is not the real reality, this is a dream. So we're gonna be able to prove that scientifically sooner or later. We will be. Yeah, I think in our lifetime, in my lifetime for sure. I'm 26 years old, right? So definitely in my lifetime, I think we'll prove scientifically that we're living inside a simulation. And this simulation, the way it's simulated, so if we're living inside a simulation, this implies one thing, guys. This implies there's a creator, there's a simulator, there's a programmer. That's what it implies, eh? So whenever science is able to prove that we're living inside a simulation, that means we are essentially agreeing, using science, that there is a programmer, there is a simulator, right? Now, the original simulation hypothesis says that advanced humans in the future, are simulating this thing. Right? So you might say, oh, but that doesn't mean there's a creator, that doesn't mean there's a programmer. It could be us humans from the future simulating this. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Right? I think that's just a way for a scientific person who does not want to be open to the idea that there is a programmer, a creator to this thing, will try to explain it. They will try to say, oh, humans from the future. Eventually we'll come to realize that we're inside a simulation, and that to me implies directly that there is a programmer, there's a simulator. Now, does that negate evolution? Does that make evolution not true? You know, just because this is a simulation and it's an illusion, so you're telling me, you know, that doesn't mean anything? No, it's just the way this computer program is simulated, the way this video game is simulated. It's simulated in such a way that it evolves. It takes in the certain variables, right? It takes in the variables and it just evolves. So yes, evolution and creation can both be valid, and in fact, they are both valid. There is a simulator, there is a programmer to this thing. You just gotta observe life, man. It's not that hard to figure that shit out. You don't gotta do psychedelics. You ain't gotta go to the woods and fucking do 5 grams of mushrooms to figure this shit out. You don't gotta do that. You just gotta observe life. There is a code to everything, guys. There's a code to everything. Look at the birds, right? The birds, they know when to go start flying south. They just know. It's instinctual. They don't think, it's inside their DNA. What's DNA? DNA is information. DNA is information. It's because this is an information-based reality. This is simulation, it's information-based reality. Everything is code, everything is information. So you don't gotta do psychedelics or anything like that to figure out that, hey, hold on, there is a code to this thing. There is an intelligent code to this thing. Everything has a code. You have your own code too, your own DNA that makes you look a certain way. Like, see, if you look at me, I have brown eyes, I have this hair, I have this thing, you know, this is all my DNA information saying, you know, because this is, I am a digital, you're digital, I am a digital, this is right here is a character, right? So the information that's inside my DNA is saying, make this character look a certain way. It's just like, you know, you playing a video game, you know, it's really the same thing. Say you're playing FIFA, right, and you pick Barcelona, and you see Messi in front of you, right? You see Messi, right? What appears to you based on the information that this game is programmed with appears to be this someone that looks like this, which we call Messi. Collectively agree that this is how a Messi looks like. That's DNA, that's information. And that's what makes animals follow their instinct. Birds fly and migrate. That's what makes plants grow, trees grow. Like, how do trees know to just shed their leaves? And how do they know to start budding and growing again? It's code. There's a code. This is a mathematical code we're living in. It is a simulation. It is an information-based reality. And it's intelligent. And the programmer is intelligent as a motherfucker. As intelligent as he gets, it gets, she gets, whatever the fuck, whatever it is, right? It's genderless. God, this creator, this simulator, the programmer, the force, it's been named so many things. Allah, so many different names has this entity, this intelligent entity been called throughout the ages. But it is what simulated, what programmed this thing, right? And the way it programmed it is it used the mechanism of evolution. So the way this thing is programmed, this video game, it's programmed to evolve. You see, whereas like with a regular video game you play, like if you play The Sims, FIFA, Call of Duty, it's been simulated, but it's not been simulated in such a way to evolve. It is. That's it. It's simulated, right? So you know, okay, you go to level 2, you go to level 3, you go to level 4, level 5, so on and so forth. It's not simulated. It's not programmed in such a way to evolve. This video game that we're living in, what makes it so juicy and lively and interesting is that it's programmed to evolve. That's how it's programmed. So this evolution can be seen in everything. This evolution can be seen in nature. This evolution can be seen in the human itself and how we've evolved out of primates. And, you know, really the beginning of it was all just a big bang, was just that singularity, right? But also, what makes this game really a mind fuck, what makes this simulation, this video game a mind fuck, is that you and I are the programmers, meaning we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. So that programmer that we like to look at, the force, God, Allah, the creation, the creator, the simulator, that is you, and that is me, and that is everything and everyone. See, one of the things psychedelics made me realize, and I think a lot of psychonauts come to this realization sooner or later, that you are God. You are God, and I am God. Except for we're just branches on the tree. We're branches, we're part of God. But the essence of us, the divine, the soul, the spirit, that's the programmer, the very same programmer that programmed this whole fucking thing. So the programmer is you. The programmer is me. The programmer is these trees, is everybody. The programmer wanted to create a story, a magnificent story. The programmer wanted to entertain itself. The creator wanted to create itself. The creator got too bored of infinite bliss. The creator got lonely. You know, there's only oneness. It's just one. It is, just is, right? The creator said, I want to have a little bit of fun and entertain myself. I am going to create a bunch of games, of which Earth happens to be one of them. And then, I'm going to divide myself into little branches, subjective branches, and I'm going to have a subjective experience of this thing that I created of myself. So right now, I am God having a subjective experience of what it's like to be Saeed, which is making these videos, you know, making my hair this morning, right? Putting on this necklace, you know, YouTubing. So God is having this subjective experience of itself through this creation that it created, which is Saeed, you know, this thing evolved. This Saeed thing in front of you right now evolved out of millions of fucking billions of years. I evolved. We all evolved since the Big Bang, right? So 13, 14 billion years ago. That's how long we've been going on, guys, right? So this right here in front of you is the result of the evolution of this game, an entity, a human being called Saeed, and God, the programmer, the creator, is having a subjective experience of itself by being Saeed. In the same way, you, the watcher, you are God having a subjective experience of itself. So if you have just jerked off and you know you got a big gut hanging over and I don't know, it's like fucking minus 30 where you are, then that is God's subjective experience of itself at the moment, right? That's everything is God. God is just having a subjective experience of itself, you see? Now, the example that I just gave is really bad because I know most of you guys are badasses. But I mean, that doesn't negate anything. Hey man, if you're someone who fucking got a gut hanging out and just find yourself in a pool of your own cum, all power to you, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That is God too. And God is all acceptance. And God is all love. And God is just having a subjective experience of itself. That's what it is, right? So in that case, that's your subjective experience. But it's still godly. It's still, believe it or not, you being covered in a pool of your own cum with your big giant gut hanging over, that is a divine experience. That is a godly experience because that's the creator having a subjective experience of what it's like to be fat and covered in a pool of your own cum. It is what it is. That's what it is. It is what it is. It is the way, the Tao, the Tao. So you see how creation and evolution are not mutually exclusive. They do not necessarily clash, but actually they're one and the same. They're both valid and they're both happening at the same time. Yes, the creator, there is a creator, there's a programmer, there's a simulator, you know, and you know, we've known about this for as long as we've been able to have this experience of being a human being, the self-awareness. We've known about it through the ages. We know there is a force, there is a God, there's a power out there, the force, right? The force, Allah, Krishna, like, you know, so many names for it, right? Vishnu, whatever, all these gods, the Hindu gods, the Tao, right? It's there, man. It's you know, you don't have to fucking, it's pretty obvious. It's just pretty obvious, right? And we're simply having this experience through this game, and we're sort of unfolding in an evolutionary style. So because everything in this game is about evolution, your consciousness, right? You're a consciousness. You're a divine consciousness. You're love. That's what you are. But you're here to evolve. You're here to learn. So essentially, you're trying to be God again. That's really what your consciousness is trying to do. Your state of your soul. Your soul is trying to unite with its creator once again. It's trying to realize itself again. That's all it is. This is all a grand act, the cosmic joke, the cosmic giggle, the cosmic drama. This is a drama. This is a movie. God just wants to entertain itself. You want to entertain yourself. I want to entertain myself. This is why we're playing this game, and I'm talking to you right now and you're listening to me. This is all, we're playing a game. This is a game, okay? And we're trying to entertain. We're trying to get some entertainment out of it. Some drama, some suffering, some struggle, some happiness, some joy. This is how we live. This is the world. This is existence. And our job is to learn and evolve. So as souls, as streams of consciousness, as divine streams of consciousness, you and I and every single person on this planet, our job is to learn and evolve the quality of our consciousness, to evolve our soul. And the way to do that is to get closer to the source. In other words, to get closer to love. So the more your actions are coming from a loving place, the closer you are to your true nature, to your godly nature, to your divine nature. And you're playing this game through this ego structure, which has so many fucking flaws and so much problems. And that's why being a human is difficult. And that's why we come to earth and we play this earthly game. Because the chance for your soul, for your state of consciousness to grow, to evolve, again, everything is evolution in this earth game. The chance for for your soul to grow in this game, because it's a difficult fucking game to play, guys. Have you been paying attention? It's not easy being a human. It's not easy to deal with your fellow humans. It's not easy to navigate life. It's not easy to navigate the world as a human being. But that is precisely why we all, every single one of us, chose to come to this game. Because we want to evolve as quickly as possible. And the chance for growth, for evolution on a soul level, on a consciousness level, is very much great, and there's a lot of room for us to jump ahead, leaps ahead. Whereas maybe if we go play different games, maybe they're too easy, right? This is a difficult fucking game. This is hardcore adventure shit right here, bro. This is hardcore adventure. You coming here, you're an adventurer. This is why I urge people to go and do their own thing and go on a limb and just get out of your comfort zone. We're all adventurers. Nobody that comes to Earth is not an adventurer. This is a hardcore adventure game. Okay? Nobody that comes here to Earth is not prepared. We're all prepared for adventure, for hardcore shit, and we're all brave. We're all brave. Every single human being is a brave human being. And is a brave soul, right? So, I expected this to be at least 20 minutes, and I delivered. Not because I tried to, but because this is a very interesting topic to me. And I can go on for another 20 minutes. But I'll finish it here. You know, I'll finish it here. I'll end it here. I love life. I love this game. I love the programmer. And I love me because I am the programmer. And I love you because you're the programmer. And because I am you and you're me. And there's separations and illusion. God bless you all, guys. I love every single one of you. And as always, don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.